Hey everybody, this here is a Hampton Bay Jericho Hugger lighted housing ceiling fan, 52-inch in polished brass. Now, this one I got actually some time ago, not like, I think I got it this year. Maybe not, I can't remember actually. It might have been at the end of last year. Um, but this one came from the salvage store. You may remember it. It was featured in the last video that I made there. Well, I went back and got it. And I actually didn't get it for myself. I got it for a friend of mine, Eric Laird, who is another fellow fan collector. He's grown kind of fond of these lighted housing fans, so he saw that one in my video, and he asked if I could pick it up for him if it was still there next time I visited, and sure enough it was. And so I got it. Um, and of course I decided just that I would make a video of it, just because it's too cool not to, I think. Um, Anyway, this one is, I believe, made by Firebird, because of, on the tag on top of the mounting bracket, there is a, in parentheses next to, like, the UL listing or serial number, it says Firebird. So, and I believe it is because there are some characteristics that relate it to the Firebird made fans that I have, like those Supremes. I think those are the only Firebird ones that I have, actually. But yeah, it's got the pull chains on either side, like either side of the nose, which I think some Supremes did have that. If they didn't, it was a speed control, like a speed knob. But anyway, it's got on the reverse, next to the reverse switch, there's a label that has the air and then an arrow pointing up and down, which is like a label for the directional switch, I guess, for like airflow. Which is another thing that most Firebirds had. Like all the Supremes that I have that. But yeah, so this one is definitely an early version of the Jericho. I know they had later ones that were a bit more generic. They also had a downrod model, but this one's a bit earlier because it has the GE vents, as you can see. It's also 4-blade only, and I believe that the later ones were 5-blade, or maybe 4 or 5-blade adaptable. But yeah, it's got completely plain blades, but I believe they are solid wood, like oak, I think. And then the motor is stamped, it's white, and it's a little bit smaller than like the earlier Firebird motors that were used in the Supreme fans that I have. But it's a ventless motor, which is kind of interesting. It's still like larger than what you'd see today. And I have to say that putting this thing together was a pain. It was just so difficult to put these things together. Um, you got to basically take the whole thing apart, and I could not get the glass housing or the faceplate and the glass housing to stay up there because they were these things, these little. Well, they were rubber, but now they're like hardened completely, and they've all like disintegrated. And I guess they were originally there to help out with the aligning the motor housing up and isolating vibration, but now they're gone. So uh, yeah, but I got it up there. It was missing a washer too that held the faceplate on, but I found a replacement one of those. But it was in it was in okay condition when I got it. It was just pretty dirty. Um, the blades were all dusty. Every single bulb in the motor housing was burned out. Um, the well, it was missing every single blade. It's a blade arm to motor screw, and I think that's everything that was wrong with it. Yeah. Um, what else? I was just about to say something about it and it slipped my mind. Oh, the pull chain that controls the the lighted housing it doesn't have a light kit on it, as you can clearly see. But if you were to put a light kit on it, I have the lighted housing on right now just for demonstration. If you were to put a light kit on it, it has a 3-way pull chain for the lights. So right now the light kit or the lighted housing is on. If I pull it again, the lighted housing is still on. So that brought on the light kit too, I believe. Now it's off. And I think this would be just the light kit. And then the next one is all of them off. So it's a 3-way pull chain. Very interesting. So I'm going to leave the housing on. So I guess we will go ahead and start the fan up on high now. Whoops. In reverse from the last take. Whoops. What am I doing now? Okay. Let's try that again. Oh. Okay. Let's try that again. One more time. From high speed. I think I might need to leave that in the video. So it is very impressive, the performance, actually, being a hugger and being a later fan with a sort of smaller motor, probably not as powerful, but it is doing very well for its size, and its size, it's 52 inch, but being a hugger, like I said, very minimal wobble as well, and it's very silent. So I am quite impressed by this one. Medium. It's a pretty average medium. And low. It's like dead silent on low, which is pretty cool. It's a little bit fast, on the faster side, but I think that's pretty common for a fan of this age, from this era. These later, cheaper import fans. But as always, you can put it on the speed control and make it go even slower. So now, turn it to back to high. Spin it down. Yeah, the reason why it was in reverse before was because I recorded it. I recorded a video first and then played it back, and in the background my mom was watching some podcast, and that's literally all you could hear in the background was that. And I was like, okay, I don't want to get a copyright strike here, so let me just retake this. And I guess I forgot to switch it back to forward and forgot the order of the speeds. I think this one cleaned up quite nicely. I washed the entire glass housing and the blades, cleaned the faceplate and everything. I didn't give the motor any oil, but it might benefit from some. And put new bulbs in the housing, of course. It's just, I think 5-watt nightlight bulbs in there, which seems to be enough. Seems to be enough light for the application, at least. Okay, yeah, I think it could probably use some oil, but not a terrible spin down time. So now I'm going to switch it back to reverse. And now, oops, that's the light one. Start it up on low in reverse. Seems to be about the same as it was in forward, same speed. Medium. And that That seemed a little bit faster. And finally, high. Here we go. And finally, the up-close view. So here is the fan in all its glory. Beautiful crystal glass housing with the cross-hatched pattern there and that little sun design. It's very, very pretty. I really like it. The GE vents faceplate, they have a plastic screen in here that allows light to emit through the GE vents, and I do like how light also illuminates out through the hole in the motor, hole for the motor. Yeah. Yeah, and then the blades, like I said, are plain on both sides, completely plain. Hampton Bay label right there on the side of the nose, and then there's also labels over each pull chain. That one says speeds, and this one says light. Flat nose cap, kind of standard of Firebird products. And then on the side there's the reverse switch with that air label, as you can see, air up or down. So yeah, that's not quite filigree up there, but it's venting at least. But yeah, the motor itself is ventless, as I mentioned. And then maybe you can see the tag. Is it visible? No, it's right in there in the box. Maybe you can see it from here, actually. Oh, not really. But it does say Firebird on there, so I'm pretty sure this is a Firebird product. Or they wouldn't say Firebird if it wasn't, but yeah, I think, oh, I'm not sure if these pull chain extensions are original. I don't know about this one, but I know this one is the Hampton Bay Lighthouse. But yeah, I think that's just about it for this one. So that's the Hampton Bay Jericho Hugger lighted housing ceiling fan. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video.